The man takes the responsibility to safeguard his flock and their best interest. Partners are garments to each other. And man is the custodian of the crystal. We know that crystal, the most popular crystal in the world, is a diamond. So men who treat their wives like a diamond, like the Hope Diamond, will be rewarded and will feel the blessing of what Allah has given them. If you treat your wife like a doormat, doormats wear out and you have to buy a new one. Diamonds don't wear out. Maybe that's why they're a girl's best friend. If we look at Eid al-Adha, we celebrate a father and son submission to Allah. Ibrahim was a father and the intimate friend of Allah. To be a great shepherd, you need to be intimate with Allah. You need to be a wali, a friend of Allah. Ibrahim was a model devoutly obedient to Allah. And I've given you the verses, so take a picture of this, go back and read the verses. This is how Allah describes the father of monotheism. The father of Islam is Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim told his father, who was an idol builder, who his bread came from building idols, said, Dad, don't build idols. They can't even fix themselves. Ibrahim was a crusher of ignorance. You see, when your children come, you don't have to show off that your amygdala is developed. Make them think. And I'll give you an example. A young man came in to me one time in the community. He said, oh, I have to wear green to school on Monday. And I had forgotten what he was talking about. And it was because of St. Patrick's Day. He was in public school. So I sat down with the young man and I asked him, why do you want to wear green? He said, well, it's St. Patrick's Day. So I said, well, what do you know about St. Patrick? He said, I don't know. They just told us at school if you don't wear green, you'll get pinched. So I sat down and we pulled out a book and we looked up about St. Patrick's Day and we looked about what people do on St. Patrick's Day. Well, does anybody know here? Since you're a Muslim, you might not know, but a lot of people get drunk on St. Patrick's Day. Matter of fact, if you look at many of the Irish bars, they're called Patrick's. Yeah. So, teach them. Be the crusher of ignorance. So is that what you want to emulate? Make them think. I'm not saying don't let them wear green, but teach them. Crush the ignorance that the world is trying to teach them. And pray for a righteous son. Surah 37:100. Pray for a righteous son. Ishmael grew under the light of his father's love. Ishmael was the reward of a century of suffering. Ishmael was the promise of future generations. Ibrahim, as a father, had to choose love of God or love of self, prophethood or fatherhood, loyalty to God or loyalty to family, faith or emotion, truth or delusion, consciousness or instinct, responsibility or pleasure. Today, a lot of men feel that it is their right because they work 40 hours, never mind the wife working 80, that they should have a 5-hour, 18-hole golf game every Saturday morning while the wife takes care of the chores. You will not fulfill this mandate if that's how you think. I'm not telling you don't play golf. I'm telling you make sure you look after your wife and your children first. Responsibility or pleasure, duty or rights, tawheed or shirk, advancement or stagnation, or stagnancy, God or Ishmael. 3 visions later, Ibrahim said to Ishmael, O my son, I see in a vision that I offer you in sacrifice. Now what is your view? He wanted to know the subjective reality of his son. He didn't say, God told me to do this and you don't have a choice to suck it up and let's go, I got my knife ready. He said, yeah, I saw a vision, son, what do you think? We don't ask our children enough, what do you think? And therefore we don't know them well because we don't know what they're thinking. Oh, my Father, do as you are commanded. You will find me if Allah so wills patient and constant. And this is an example of mutual consultation. Father and son. You know what my father said? You see that ceiling up there, boy? I said, yes, sir. I see that ceiling. He said, if I say that ceiling is black, what color is it? I said, it's black, Dad. Ain't no doubt about it. I don't care what anybody else said, Dad, it's black. Because I knew if I didn't, I might have a black mark on my body. Now, I don't propose that. Obviously, I don't believe in that at all. But that's how I grew up. And it was destructive. Now, by the grace of Allah, because it's important that I give the respect due to my father, he embraced Islam before he died. And he became the most repentant man. And he told my children, your father should have never had one lick because he did not disobey me. He said he never disobeyed me. He didn't know I did. But he said he never deserved one lick because I never knew him to disobey me. Because I was a Christian and the Bible said obey thy parents in the word, and they weren't in the word, but I just took that first part and went with it, obey them. I was a very obedient son. So mutual consultation is important to be a shepherd. This momentous event teaches us through Ibrahim that human life, Ishmael's, Ibrahim's, and ours acquires its meaning and value from God, the source of creation, and not from nature or the world. Eid is a day of sacrifice, and fatherhood is a role of sacrifice. So what I want to do right now is I'd like to invite all the fathers and their children to come up front, please. Yes, turn off the camera and turn on the lights, please.